Good afternoon. So I was presented with this theme, social enterprises as builders of socially cohesive and sustainable societies. And I looked at it, and then I looked at our own mission statement as an organization, and here's our mission statement. Our aim is to build an inclusive and thriving community by being a leading source of excellence in development of local enterprise and of social economy. Do you spot the similarity there? Socially cohesive and sustainable, inclusive and thriving. So I think we're on the same medicine. To support that mission statement, we've got various objectives, I think about 10, but I've taken these three to share with you, which I think are relevant. Our sort of main purpose as an organization is to foster and support entrepreneurship within the community through appropriate business training, mentoring, and ongoing support. We also support the innovative development of the social economy through new approaches to analysing, understanding, and developing aspects of the sector at local, national, and European levels, and then encouraging cohesion through continual analysis of and proactive responses to the needs of marginalised groups within the community. So I think that sort of puts us right in the centre of the type of thing that I heard spoken about this morning and right throughout the day. An overview of the organisation, we were established in 1984, and our name at the time, a good socialist 1984 name, was Get Tallow Working. We were responding to levels of unemployment in our own community of, on average, 24%, but in some places 50% unemployment. So this was a community-based response where local people got together and they said, let's do something about this social ill. Over the years we've developed, and we now provide a one-stop shop, A to Z, for everything you would need to start up a business. And we see starting up a business for our clients as being the only real option to them where they can't get a job. Back in 1984, we were in the middle of a crisis, and we're back. So really everything is kind of circular. A few years ago, as a matter of fact, maybe 3 years ago, we were dealing with unemployment in Ireland of 4.2%, which they say is virtually full employment. We're now dealing with 15%. So, you know, the work never goes away, unfortunately. I suppose a good social enterprise should always aim to put itself out of business. Well, we're back fully in business. Parts of the supports that we offer right from the beginning, pre-enterprise support, help with business plan preparation. We have a training wing, so we provide all the kind of training that somebody would need. We run a microcredit loan fund. We operate 4 enterprise centres where we can incubate new businesses. And then we offer growth stage programs to those who've been with us for a while. We have a staff of 62 operating in the 4 centres. We turn over about 2.5 million a year. And the funding mix there, 18% is by way of subvention in any way, and 82% we earn ourselves. We're involved right throughout the community in all sorts of social inclusion measures, whether that's employment, which is the main, and self-employment, our main response to social inclusion. But we're also involved in other areas such as integration. Over the last number of years, we've had a lot of immigrants into Ireland. I think they're reversing and leaving quickly at the moment. We're also involved in community development and training and capacity building. We offer especially tailored programs to all sorts of what we might call minority entrepreneurs. So that's whether that's females, which still constitute a minority form of entrepreneurship, unfortunately. Immigrant entrepreneurship, long-term unemployment, disability entrepreneurship. And we would have been, for the last 20 years, the sort of foremost experts on social economy in Ireland. We've run various programs on social entrepreneurship, social auditing, social finance. And it has given us an insight. When you've been involved that long, it gives you an insight into social economy and the subtle differences between social economy and social enterprise and social innovation and social entrepreneurship. And I don't think people pay enough attention to those subtle differences. We're trying to make sure that we stay right at the forefront of understanding those differences. We participate in a lot of EU-funded projects, whether it's ESF or Equal, Leonardo da Vinci, Interreg, Article 4, Grundtvig. And we've just set up co-funded a new consortium called Entrepreneurial Perspectives Limited, with academics and high-tech transfer. So we basically provide advice, largely, I suppose, in Central and Eastern Europe, on technology transfer, incubation policy and growth management, developing entrepreneurial culture. Entrepreneurial culture is, I think, one of the key ingredients in a good, thriving, inclusive community. So that's my organization. I really would like to spend, though, a bit of time talking about one of the projects we're involved with at the moment, because it's a project I'm very, very proud of. It's my latest baby. Very, very innovative. I wrote it. It's an EU-funded project. It's funded under Interreg. And I wrote it very cleverly. I wrote it in such a way that it would get the funding and that we could easily achieve what I wrote down. And we can do that. But I really I had a hidden agenda. I wanted to test out an hypothesis I had. We all know about the great global social entrepreneurs like Muhammad Yunus or so many others, Jonathan. And we know about even the kind of the mid-scale social entrepreneurs, the ones that are making a big splash, and we read about them in the paper. What I wanted to experiment with was that in our own little corner of a disadvantaged community, could we find or grow or discover or somehow develop social entrepreneurs at a grassroots community level? Are they there? How would you find them? What would you do to support them? But that was kind of my hidden agenda, because the reason I kept it hidden was I wasn't sure what the outcome would be, so I didn't write it down. That's probably against the rules, but I can report now, 2 years into the project, that we're having enormous success. We sent out this flyer to all the unusual places. Having been involved in social economy for the last 20 years, I kind of knew that I wasn't going to find social entrepreneurship there. That might be a very harsh thing to say, but it's my view and it's based on my experience. We've been supporting social economy businesses, some of them for 10, 15 years. They're not sustainable, they're going nowhere. Maybe their time is up. What I was looking for, and what I saw lacking in social economy businesses, was that entrepreneurial flair, was the leadership, was the kind of craziness that Jonathan was talking about. So I wanted to see, could we grow new social enterprises based on those kind of people? So we literally sent out the mail shot to see what would come back. And we sent it to universities. We sent it to places we wouldn't normally have gone. And we got lots of responses. We're currently dealing with, I think, something like 22, 23 of these people who've responded and have either set up or are in the process of setting up their social enterprises. I want to show you just 3 of them. This one, Sensational Kids. This is a woman who has a child with special needs. She wasn't too happy with the services that were being provided. She wanted nothing but the best for her kid, and the state and the other services were not providing the best as she saw it. So she decided to provide it herself and provide it for others. One of the things to note there, by the way, is the language of social entrepreneurs. See the branding, the name, Sensational Kids. And I'm not sure if you can read the byline. It says, because sensational children deserve sensational therapy. Entrepreneurs don't talk in middle ground. They're expansive. They over talk. And she's sustainable because apart from providing this therapy and services, she has set up a shop selling educational toys. And that shop is a profitable business which is supporting the therapy that she provides. She is taking funding anywhere she can, as is any commercial operation. But again, the thing when you meet somebody like Karen, the person behind this, you know she's a social entrepreneur. You know when you meet a social entrepreneur, there's an instinct goes off within you and you say, yeah. They're not all young people, by the way. There is a common concept that social entrepreneurs are young. And well, most are, and I think most of that is because of a mindset change that happened in Generation Y. They don't come out of university now just starting to climb onto a corporate ladder. They see other possibilities that are as natural to them. They don't see that they have to go and take an alternative route, an alternative lifestyle. This is mainstream lifestyle. I agree 1000% with Jonathan. The world is converging. There will only be one economy, and it will have this as an integral part of the economy. Mary was running a senior citizens club in her local rural parish down the country, about 30 miles outside of Dublin. And it was doing fine. She was quite entrepreneurial because she was doing all sorts of additional tag-on services like an internet cafe, a senior helpline for when the centre wasn't operational. There was a helpline that any of the older people could ring. A laundry service. And then, I love this as a piece of entrepreneurial insight. She noticed that, you know, basically they had all these senior citizens gathered around talking to each other during the day. And there was this influx of immigrants who were hanging around with nothing to do during the day. And she thought, what if we put the two of those together? We could talk to the immigrants and find out where they come from. Irish people are very curious. We love to find out everything about you. Where do you come from? What's life like in your place? And in that process, they'll be learning English. And so she established what's called Fáilte Isteach, which is the Irish language for welcome in. So she created a welcome in for the immigrants and solved two sets of problems with one stroke. The Bella Rose Foundation. Dermot was running this sort of house cleaning service. Maud's Merry Maids, and they'd come in and sort of clean your house or clean your factory or whatever. His mother developed breast cancer and was in hospital for treatment. And before she came home, he, of course, got his troops in to give the house a full spring clean, so she came back to a nice, clean, sparkling house. And then he thought, what about all the women who come home from hospital having treatment and have to face a house that might be, well, less than clean and sparkling? And so he said, I'm going to provide part of my company to provide that as a service for those who can't afford that sort of luxury, to come back to a nice, clean, spring-cleaned house. And he established the Bella Rose Foundation. It is thrilling for me to work with people like this, and it has changed my understanding of social economy. These are people who are doing wonderful work. Others that we're working with, Taller Repairs Cooperative, we have a lot of unemployed tradespeople in Ireland at the moment. We're working, bring them together into a cooperative to fix household goods that people can't afford now to just chuck out and buy a new thing. 222 Ireland, somebody, young guy, straight out of university, was over volunteering in Canada with young kids, and he noticed that they had this thing called 222, which is a non-emergency helpline. Okay, you can dial 911, or whatever it is here, for emergency services, but what if it's not an emergency service, but you still need help? So 222 is the number he's setting up. Other ones to do with arts, music, and these are people who are seeing the world in a slightly different way, seeing the possibilities, and bringing it about. And I suppose for me, say that it's an honour for me to be able to be there to help these people. Thank you.